Hi, this is Dee with Divine L, and this is a results video for the reading I did about the 1010 portal, and it's titled The Floating Fortress Loses Power in Holy See. So results. So I'm just going to stick with the results for right now, just so that you know that the reading was more than just a little accurate. It was dead spot on. It's so interesting when that happens, and it never fails to amaze me. Anyway, this reading was about a floating fortress losing power in the Holy See, because that happened more than once. So I'm just going to get to the gist of it, but then I'm going to do a separate video talking about how my mission is evolving. But yeah. So we were in this reading. There were several things going on here, but I'll get on with the news pieces that link the reading with what's going on. And it happened, I remember I said, this feels like it happens within 48 hours or so, approximate, of the reading. So we'll look at that. And this is on the 13th. Israel's nuclear weapons are the true Middle East threat, Iran warns UN. So that's part of what this is talking about, because right now there's some pressure being put on Iran about them making good on their peace deal. And the fact that Israel has never come forward about their atomic weapons or signed the deal. Israel is suspected to be, excuse me, a nuclear power, but has never confirmed or admitted to possessing nuclear weapons. So this is part of what that reading was about. But there's much, much more to it. A lot more to it. Okay, give me just a moment here, and I'll pull up. So I'm pulling up the rest of the story. What's this all about? It's very deep. And the reading was deep. It took me a while to unpack all of it because there was so much in there. And I even mentioned that this is about some sort of a canal in the Holy See, and I was confused. What are they talking about? First of all, I don't like the news, and I don't really watch it, except for now, recently, since they started pointing me at it, at specific things. The rest of it, I try to ignore what I can. I mean, I didn't watch TV since 2005. So, yeah, because the news actually was a huge stress point in my day. And so I was like, I'm done with that box, a programming box. I'm done. I mean, come on. Any of you guys that watch the news religiously, you cannot tell me that you're not stressed when you get done watching it. Seriously. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Something happened. I'm going to click through these. You guys are all gonna know what it's about now, because I've been clicking through. A big ship got stuck in the Suez Canal and blocked traffic. Again. Well, the reading was talking about a floating fortress being stuck. Loses power in Holy See. Well, here we go. This is the Holy Land. This is the cradle of civilization right here. We're looking at it. Okay? This whole, there you go. Cradle of civilization all the way down here. Let's expand it. That's the cradle of civilization. Right there. That's the Holy See. Okay? So connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. They were talking about the Suez Canal. I knew it was about a canal and a boat. I knew. But there was way more to it. Way more to it. Oh, so much so. Anyway, so first it was talking about, let's see if we can get these things to pop up or not. Oh, I should prep better, but you know, it is what it is. That was just another article I was reading. They pointed me at it, so I read it. Okay, U.S. Israel say they are exploring a Plan B for Iran. So, this has everything to do with Blinken. And the name Blinken keeps popping up. Blinken says the U.S. does not support normalization efforts with Syria's Assad. And UAE foreign minister says he will visit Israel soon. So deals being made in back rooms. So they're trying to get them to negotiate the 2015 nuclear deal. What's interesting is, why is Iran and other places having to sign these things, and Israel themselves haven't had to sign these things? Doesn't quite sound fair, does it? Something's amiss. What's going on here? Connect the dots. Anyway, I wanted to stick on topic, though. So a big ship gets stuck in the Suez Canal more than once. Okay? So this giant container ship, back in March 24th, Evergreen. It's interesting because in my readings and things that were going on at the time, they were pointing me at Phoenix containers, which are containers that are used on these ships. Like Phoenix Rising, right? They were pointing me at that, and they were pointing at the word evergreen to me in multiple ways, including real estate, interestingly enough. But it turns out what they were trying to get my attention about, and I didn't know it back at the time, was this big ship. They got stuck in the Suez Canal. You saw the reading And I talked about the temperance card, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land, and it feels like a canal back here. I said that during the reading. hmm Tower moment. Stuck. Okay. 1 foot in the water and a splash, right? So this ship gets stuck in the canal. And this thing's the size of a skyscraper. Okay. It was a big to-do. And a sandstorm is the reason for this happening, evidently. Or was that just a cover story? I don't know. But it is ever so convenient that this happened twice this past year, March and September. But there's other things behind the scenes going on that are directly related to this. The Sword of Destiny, Truth and Clarity. So, we've got all these things going on. And Iran warns the UN about Israel's nuclear weapons. Because nobody talks about that. Nobody. Everybody's always going, Iran. Well, you just have to connect the dots, put the pieces together. Anyway, so let's get on with this. The canals. Canal triggers major dispute between Egypt and UAE, United Arab Emirates. And the reading, you saw the cards that were coming out. I'm going to provide links. And Oman was one of the cards. Iran was one of the cards. Monaco was one of the cards. Bahrain, Oman, Monaco, yeah, were the world cards that came out. And I thought they were just spitting out random cards. Nope, it wasn't random. Those countries are involved in this because of their geographical locations. Anyway, I'm going to provide links. Canal triggers major dispute. Okay. And this is October 2nd, 2020. Okay. Then the U.S. had a plan in the 1960s to blast an alternative Suez Canal through Israel using 520 nuclear bombs. Yeah, that's right. Are you surprised? I was. I didn't know about this. Did you guys know about this? I didn't know anything about this. I was totally unaware that they were planning to do a canal through there. Because this canal, well, it's not making these guys any money now, is it? But it's making these guys a whole lot of money. It's their fourth largest income, Egypt. Right. You control these shipping lanes, you control the world. hmm Have you ever played the game Risk? Gabriel just popped that into my head. The game Risk. It's a game with a world map. You move your pieces around. And during that game, if any of you guys were fans and ever played it, it was exceedingly difficult to keep control in that area. This area we're looking at right now. But if you could hold control of those, that land right there, you would win the game. Hmm. Yeah, Gabriel just reminded me of the Risk games that I used to play when I was a teenager with my family. And yes, the lady in white who plays chess. That would be me. Anyway, so there was plans way back in the 60s, but it fell short. It didn't happen. But guess what? Suddenly, now that a couple of ships gotten stuck, it looks like a great idea because somebody's pushing for this. So, did those ships get stuck because of a storm? Or is it just a convenient way to push our agenda? One must ask why. Can Israel's Iliad become an alternative to the Suez Canal? Cut right through there. Yep. So, this is where it's planned on going through, right through here. And look who's at the end, the receiving end. Lebanon, Beirut. Hold up. Now, if you're a logical thinking human being, you remember that explosion in the harbor in Beirut, right? That's when they first started training me to use the cards to tell about what's coming. Start adding 2 plus 2 and connecting the dots. Connect the dots. 520 nuclear weapons to blow open a channel starting where? Shh. You're not supposed to know about that. Alarm bells going off in your heads yet? And right now, Lebanon's being very destabilized. Wonder why that would be. Never stop asking why. See, the Suez Canal's right here. The Iliad Canal is planned through here. But we have these pesky people in our way, ruining our plans. Meh! Lebanon. You're annoying us. You're not doing what we want. Destabilization of countries is, subvert, infiltrate, subvert. Anyway, if you look at my card reading, it was also talking about, and I didn't know about this either, but it's interesting because there is a railway that runs along down through here and goes down to Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Oman. And what's this? Iraq? Right where that train goes. Right on its border. Now, a little history lesson and a reminder that they claimed that Iraq had nuclear weapons so that we would invade them. That was the story. Starting to add up 2 plus 2. Iraq was a multi-pronged mission agenda on their part. Oil was just icing on the cake. But the ancient relics that were there, and Saddam Hussein, King Nebuchadnezzar in a past life, was rebuilding his city there. Look it up if you don't believe me. We can't have that happening now, can we? Nope. Anyway, so oil was just icing on the cake. Getting the US and the UK and the UN all on board, these guys right here. Yep, yep. That state that was given to you-know-who by you-know-who queen. These guys have plans. There's a big railway that runs through here. It has everything to do with why we invaded Iraq. Everything. It's about control. Controlling the trade routes. If you control this region, just like in the game Risk, if you control this region, you can control the planet pretty much. Remember, this canal is to keep people from having to sail all the way around Africa. A very dangerous passage, I might add. Okay? So this is an effort to keep from having to sail all the way around that. Also remember that of late, they gave me telepathy, Azerbaijan, sorry, I can't even hardly pronounce the dang word, but they gave it to me via telepathy, and they pronounce it quite well, unlike me. And remember, I talked about back in my readings, they keep telling me Georgia. What's going on with Georgia? Well, Georgia's right next door. And these guys are in a tiff. There's a lot of border stuff going on down here. And guess who these guys are connected to? Boom. Shh. You're not supposed to know that. Controlling this part of the world is a big deal. All you had to do is play the rest of the game to become familiar with that. You control that, you can spread from that area out and wreak havoc in the game Risk. Yes, the King of Swords is a statistician. Yep. Aquarius. Anyway, so I just wanted to show you what they were talking about. Because those readings are about the planet. They are about the macrocosm. They are about informing you guys of things that are getting ready to happen on the world stage. And they were spot on, what they're talking about in the readings. Spot on, including the country cards. Surprise, surprise. Because Bahrain and Oman both popped out. Iran popped out. Yeah. And they're wanting to use 520 nuclear weapons along here. But also, keep in mind that here we have the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Interestingly, the West Bank and Gaza Strip are where all the fighting's going on with the Palestinians. And remember what happened in Beirut. They pointed me at that too before it happened. The West Bank is right on this border where they're going to put this canal in. Now, do you know the real reason they're giving the Palestinians so much trouble? Because they want control of that route. So they need control of the land on the route. And that route goes right up to, guess what? Goes right up through here. Right up to Beirut. How does my team know these things? Because they are who they are. One goes by Gabriel, the other one goes by Adonai. And then there's me. We're a trinity. How do they know these things? In advance. Never stop asking why. Oh, goodness. I'm still tired. But they got me up on a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Twice now. Dealing with this stuff. But they are definitely looking at reopening this canal, or opening this Eliot. Eli, I don't know, Eliot, L or E. I give. I'm tired. This mission of mine is like 24/7, and I get very little sleep. Fortunately for me, I can operate generally on a low amount of sleep, although I'm starting to get annoyed about it. So yeah. And this is now being brought up in the news. U.S. considering blasting alternate Suez Canal with nuclear bombs in the 60s, but they're reopening that idea right now. And these ships being stuck in the Suez Canal, by chance, very convenient timing to push the agenda. Egypt concerned UAE-Israel pipeline project will affect Suez Canal. Because it will. They've got several projects that are going to make, or they're hoping will make, the Suez Canal obsolete. A railway, another canal, and pipelines. And I'm sure there's other things. But my reading was spot on. And my team wants you guys to know about this. Because when you have the Sword of Destiny, the truth and clarity, and your eyes are wide open, then it's hard for them to operate in the shadows. Anyway, I'm going to do another video. This one's just the results of that reading. Reading was spot on. 100. There's nothing about the reading that was incorrect. It was all 100. 100. Anyway, try to have a good week. There's a lot more to this. that I plan on exposing with the Sword of Destiny. Like I said, it's hard to misbehave if there's light shed on your sneaky behavior. And people starting to be able to read between the lines. Anyway, never stop asking why. And try to heal the divide, the division that's happened. They've done a bang-up job trying to divide everybody by every means possible, right down to how you have sex, your religion, your color. Anyway, more to come on this, because my team wants you to know the truth. Take care. Talk to you soon.